Beautiful humans, welcome back to the I Like Birds podcast. I'm your host, Zach Rippey, and this podcast is dedicated to the non-believers, the confused believers, and the true believers. Because I, at one time or another, was all three. So I'm here to help you get a better understanding of who Jesus is and what he's all about. I'd love to grow in our faith together. You learn as I learn. I like the Bible, and I like words, so therefore, I like birds. Let's start the show.
People, are you ready? Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Welcome back to another episode of the I Like Birds podcast. I'm your host, Zach Rippey, and I hope you enjoyed my son, Noah. He was singing along to the song. He just picked up the mic and said, I want to do it, and he sang, and it was just really fun. We had a good little moment, and of course, I'm going to include him in here because he's a piece of me, and he's a piece of the show, and he's a big reason why I feel like God has worked on me so much already in my life, and he's just going to be a part of the show. I love him, so I hope you enjoyed him in that little part, and you got hyped up and got a little smile or something like that, because man, I certainly did. I certainly do, especially when I hear it now, and I'm going to keep hearing it because the show's going to go on, baby. Man, I'll be honest with you guys, like always, I didn't intend to do this podcast and just spill my heart out to you. I really didn't. I really just thought I was going to just read and just tell you guys what I liked about it and unpack it and just be like, man, isn't this crazy? You know, that's kind of like the whole vibe of the podcast, the way it started off, but it's kind of just going to keep expanding, keep growing. And it does stem from my readings though, man. This episode is super powerful. I actually released like the writings of it early, just in case somebody wanted to see it beforehand, a little inside baseball of it. It's on my website at zachrippey.com if you want to check it out. It's called Love God, Fear God. It's the same thing. You clicked on the episode, you already know what it's called. But it's one of the most powerful things I feel like I've written so far and what I've felt inside so far. And it happened based on when I was just reading one night. I was reading Corinthians, and it's a beautiful, beautiful book. It's written by Paul, my favorite. You guys know I love Paul. And it's not, I was reading chapter 10, and halfway through, something just hit me. And I'm not saying chapter 10 is the most beautiful book, but it really just inspired like the thoughts I was having and the feelings I was having. Because I just started thinking about fearing God and why do I fear him? And then I just started thinking on the other side, it's like, man, I love God so much. And I just wanted to like write down why I love him and why I fear him all at the same time. So I just started writing, and I think you probably feel this way too. You just may have never thought about it this way. So I hope me sharing the way I feel helps you as well while you're listening. And I'll just get right to it, man. I love God, right? I love God for creating all things. You ever think about that? I know we kind of know that, like you're not stupid. I'm not stupid. But he just really created all things. So when you think about all the beautiful things in the world, the waterfalls, the Grand Canyon, the mountains, just fire, the sky, the stars, babies, animals, giraffes. When you think of all these amazing things he created, all the beautiful things, he also chose little old me to create. Me, little old me. He not only created me, but he chose me. He designed me the way he wanted me to be. He also gave me so many beautiful things to go along with it. He gave me a wife who's a better person than me, better looking than me, and has known Jesus longer than me. He gave me a son who is the best person I've ever met. And he's had the biggest piece of my heart since I was 19 years old. God not only gave me Noah at 19, he also blessed me with an opportunity to provide for him, take care of him, and love him every day. I used to get weird looks at the mall when I was with him because I was so young and he was, a child. But man, those looks, they didn't understand. Like I got him. He's good. But like God made him good for me. Like God did those things. He gave me the common sense on how to be a good dad, a loving dad, a fun dad, a dad I always wanted. And most importantly, a dad I always wanted to be. God gave me the ability to identify who I wanted to be as a dad from a very young age. And I was a co-parent to a kid when I still felt like a kid. It's crazy. I still had selfish ways. At times I was selfish, but majority of the time, I made myself selfless. Because I knew I had to be, man. And God put that in me. God created me and he blessed me not only with a wife and a beautiful souled 7-year-old and all the opportunities to feel as though I was a good man throughout my life and my journey to this point. He then, on top of that, he blessed me with a child that was naturally birthed by my wife. I said naturally, no morphine or whatever it's called, epidural, none of that. She's an animal, heart of a lion. I had to throw that in there, all right, because she's a beast. So the person, my wife, that I love deeply in my soul had my child. Like, that's special to me. That's her child. That is God's child. And he put us together after many failed relationships and ungodly mistakes. That is God's child. I met Catherine because she was Noah's Sunday school teacher at church. Right? Oh my gosh. Tell me that's not God's child. Or God didn't put that in there, you know? Like, oh, I love God. He then, on top of all of that, right? All those amazing blessings where you're like, wait, there's more? Yeah, there's more. It's crazy. It's insane. It's beautiful. He provided me, not only that, he provided me the energy, the passion, the desire, and the fuel in my tank to pursue a dream that I've had maybe my entire life. Like, I love stand-up, man. With every bone in my body, I promise you guys I did. I do. I would have done anything for good stage time. I would have paid them for a 20-minute spot in front of 200 people, 100 people, probably even 50 people, okay? But I got paid, which was dope. It was the opposite. Not every time did I get paid, but most of the time, yeah, I was getting paid. It was great. It was awesome. I got to make people laugh and have fun, and it felt like the stage was me, and then at home I was family me. You know, it was crazy. And you know what's crazy is I told God it was my dream to do stand-up, and it's even more of a dream of mine to one day do stand-up and be able to provide financially for my family, doing something I love, because that was always my biggest thing, man. I couldn't sell out. I couldn't do 9 to 5. I couldn't just have a check, you know? And guys, he did that. I quit my job 2 weeks before coronavirus popped off in March 2020. I quit. It was dope because I was going to be able to pay my bills doing stand-up while my wife stayed at home with our baby, which is her dream. I did that. No, I didn't. I didn't do that. God allowed me to do that. Seriously, I didn't do that. He gave me blessing after blessing, idea after idea, open door after door. He had me shake hands with people that led to better things. He let me have people support around me, had love, had appreciation, had a little bit of a name in a city. He had me banned from a club that ended up being the best thing that's ever happened to me, because I started off doing all these other shows on my own, getting paid so that my wife could stay home with our baby. I had respect. God gave me that. God gave me all of that. God gave me that, and then he took it away. So fear God. Fear God, right? Fear God or love God is the same thing, and I love God because I fear God. But also, I don't fear God because I do love God. I know he's good. God took that away for a reason. And I'll tell you this is heavy. He took that stand-up thing away for a reason. But I'll tell you this, he didn't take that little boy away. He didn't take that new mom away. He didn't take that baby away. Dude, he didn't even take me away. He could have. There was plenty of opportunities, Jack. People would have accepted it too. Oh, COVID got him. Oh, car accident. Oh, Zach died. Well, the world's crazy right now, so I guess that's a bummer. God had plenty of chances. God took away the thing I thought was my dream, right? God took that passion I once had away, and he completely, in this season, redirected it on a much higher level. And I'm okay with that thing being gone, because that thing I thought would make me happy at the end of this journey of stand-up, which I thought was to come, which it would have came if I would have stayed in it as hard and put all my eggs in that basket and was going on that wavelength that I was going on. Because that's just what happens. You put in the work and things come, you know? That thing that I thought would make me happy, that thing was attention, fame, and success and money. And I love this stage, man, but I just didn't really like the before and the politics and the and everything else between it. Like, I love the stage, man. I really do, and I still love the stage. I think about the stage. But hey, maybe I still have the stage. The stage is this. It's telling people about God. It's telling people about me, my life, my experiences, my heart for God. The stage is still there. The stage is there on even a bigger level. Dude, if I can make drunk people laugh, you don't think I can make people that go to church laugh? Oh, I'm going to make people that go to church laugh. I'm going to make people that believe in Jesus laugh. And maybe I'm put here to influence your heart that's listening to pursue him more, to hear about him more, read about him more. And it's already happening. It's already being exposed to me, right? I'm seeing the messages. I'm feeling the love in real life, not on likes or whatever, but in DMs and messages and people that I'm talking to and face to face. People have shown me, honestly, more genuine love for this podcast in 2 months than they had of 3 years of me doing stand-up. Probably because I wasn't that funny. Zinger. But dude, God loves me, right? He's got me. He always has. I don't know if you guys know this. Some of you do, some of you probably don't. But I used to want to be a cop. It feels weird to say. It really does. And I graduated, actually, from a 6-month program where I spent every single day at the academy. Well, Monday through Friday. I took driving courses. I took shooting classes, fighting classes, handcuffing courses. I got pepper sprayed. I got tased. And I even won awards in my class. And I was one of the most respected guys in my graduating class amongst my peers, my instructors, and my teachers. And then a few months after graduating, while I was like job hunting, right? I got the certificate. I got the award. I'm lean. I'm feeling good. I got turned down. I got turned down by 3 agencies back to back to back. God took that away from me. Fear God. He took that away from me. But good. I love God. Thank you for doing that. Because I'd be miserable if I was a cop right now. Are you kidding me? You think my family would love, respect, and be proud to call me dad? Nah, B. I'd be seeing the worst of the worst every single day. I'd just be a miserable person. I'd be living in this miserable world and seeing the worst of the worst and just dealing with what's going on right now. Can you imagine? Yeah, I'd be a good cop because I feel like I'm a good dude. But at the end of the day, that's not what he wants from me. God took care of me, man. He took away so many of my dreams and gave me new ones. And not even new ones, gave me a new one. Because I think this is it. I really do. I don't think there's going back after this. I really don't. As much as I've changed my mind in the past, dude, this is it. I feel it 100% in my soul. Like, it feels good every time. Ooh. Anyway, I'll tell you another one. Some of you guys probably definitely don't know this one because I don't really share it with that many people. I wanted to be a music artist. I was doing like storytelling over a beat was my vibe. You know, I like to write, so storytelling was kind of my thing. And dude, listening back on it, and even at the time, I kind of knew this, but I didn't really say it out loud. That all the music displayed how broken I was. You can look it up if you want to. It's Barry Allen, Now Lay in It, on Spotify and iTunes, Apple, whatever. Man, I made, but don't look it up. Just listen to this. I made 2 albums, right? And which is actually kind of awesome to say this and like realize that this actually happened. But the second one that I did actually got published by an online record company. And I was on Spotify and iTunes before anyone actually could be on there. Like, it was a privilege back then when I was on it. It was an honor. And I had like an alias, Barry Allen. I didn't really tell anyone I did it except a couple friends. And on SoundCloud, I had over like 40,000 plays. And people paid me to be on like their songs and stuff. It was legit. It was awesome. And I don't think I was good. I was just, I don't know at all. I don't really think I was good, but I was good at storytelling, I guess. The flow was kind of trash. And dude, I loved music so much. That was like my dream. And I even made 2 songs about God on there before I even really knew him that well. And then after I recorded the second album, I started, after I released it and stuff, I started to fall in love with a girl. My wife, man. I started falling in love with her and made me not want to write about heartbreak anymore. And God gave me her and he took away the dream that I once had. And is it still there? No, not really. I love music and I always will, but that's just not for me anymore. and telling people how dope Jesus is, yeah, I think that's what it is now and forever for me. But then God gave me something great, right? So he gave me, after my wife, he gave me an amazing 3 years with good memories, life lessons, and true love for stand-up comedy. And I learned more in those 3 years, I promise you, pursuing that than I would have learned working a 9 to 5 or doing almost anything. You know, I was in different cities, meeting different people, reading energies, reading rooms, writing jokes, trying to find punchlines, talking to promoters, talking to liquor sponsors, reaching out to people, just networking. Like, I just learned how to really talk to strangers at an even higher level. And man, I performed over like 700 times in 3 years, all with the amazing grace and support of my wife, right? God called us to leave everything I've ever known in Florida. And we moved to Texas and we never looked back. We've only looked forward. God did that. And guys, I need you to do something. Love God, man. Love him, because this is the truth. God blessed me with all of that. All of those beautiful things in my life, all of those removals of dreams, all of those new doors opening. And I'm going to talk to God real quick. All the love you gave me that love before I even knew you. Seriously, before I even knew you, before I even knew who Jesus was, before I ever loved you, before I even stopped to take the time to know you. And guys, before this dream snatcher coronavirus, before this unemployment crisis, before all this, I didn't even know what God did for me. I didn't know what Jesus did for me, which is bigger than that in my head. And like I was going to church almost every Sunday and didn't really realize what Jesus did for me and like what he taught and who he was. And man, and God, you sent us him, right? And he is everything to me, and you're proving that to me right now, every day. And in my times and in my sorrows, in my times of worry, you tell me that I'm going to be okay. In my times of anger, you remind me that that's not the way. When I make mistakes and my heart doesn't reflect Christ, you show me that later. And it's crazy when that happens, because that conviction you feel, you're like, oh man, I could have went about this differently. I could have not said what I said. I could have said something else instead, or just kept my mouth shut. And God, man, you were working on me because you love me. You always have. And you want me to tell people about you? So I will. You want me to read about you, write about you, and speak about you? I will. Not just because I love you, but also because I fear you. I see what you can remove. I see what you can change. I see the world you can shake. I fear my master, but I love my master because he loves me. He made me. Who am I to not fear nor love him? Without him, I am not even ashes, because even God created ashes. I fear him, but only if I fail. I fear him only if I fail. Fail consistently. Fail by being lazy. Fail because of ego. I fear you if I fail to achieve what you want me to achieve. I do. I fear it. Like, if I just stop doing what I'm doing, if I just stop doing this podcast because I don't really want to, the world's back to normal. If I stop doing this, I failed. If I'm like, I don't really want to go to that school, I'm just going to get a job and provide for my family and make sure we're straight. No. I fear you because that if I fail, I don't want to fail. I fear if I fail to do what you've called me to do, what you have called all of us to do, which is love Christ, serve Christ, and show people Christ and tell people about Christ. This one's hard for me, man. This one's hard for me. And I know that my words have power on this podcast. For some reason, they do. And I'm not the most educated. I haven't been a believer the longest, but for some reason, my words have power on this podcast, and I'm realizing that. I can already tell that because God is showing me that, and you guys are showing me that. My words aren't here to entertain you. I make it cute with all the little edits and all the little emojis of birds and whatnot. And that's like a marketing kind of tactic to get you, I don't know, whatever. But I'm not here to entertain you. I'm really not. And they really aren't, right? Church ain't supposed to be entertaining, right? And I'm entertaining my church. Don't get me wrong. I love like a good worship song, and I love a good zinger in the middle of a sermon, or, I like talking to people that love Jesus and stuff. I don't think churches are supposed to be entertaining. I think loving the Lord is an amazing feeling, but I wouldn't exactly classify it first as entertaining. So either is this podcast, friend. And it's funny because my mom's like, you should try to make it more funny. I was like, I don't really know how. It's like, as much as I did stand up, I'm like, I don't know how to just randomly be making sure there's punchlines in it. So I'm sorry if it's not as funny as some people may have hoped for. And even my dad was like, oh, you should try to make it a Christian comedy. And I'm like, I get it. I get what you're saying, but I can't do that because this ain't funny, bro. Like, loving Jesus and what Jesus did for us is not funny. And like this podcast, man, I can't even label it, right? Think about this. Help me out with this one. Send me a message if you think you can label it. Is it spirituality? If I can even say it. Is it spirituality? Is it educational? Is it self-improvement? Is it all of that? Because it asked me when I like uploaded it on Spotify or Apple, one of the two, what kind of podcast is it? And I don't know. At first I did spirituality. Then I was like, I don't really think it's preachy. Is it educational? I was like, I don't know if I'm really teaching that much, like from the word. I don't know if I'm teaching. Is it self-improvement? Is your life getting better right now when you listen to the show and you do what you do from the show and the things it puts in your head? Is it all of that? I don't know. Help me out. Let me know. Send me an email or a DM or something. But I'll tell you what, man. Don't even worry about the podcast. Jesus is all of that. He's spirituality. He's educational. He's self-improvement, right? Dude, loving God is all of that. And doing what you're called to do out of love. And I fear God because I respect God, but I also fear the world getting into my mind and corrupting that pursuit that I'm on. And I won't let it happen though, man. I won't. The world's been trying, bro. It's been trying to get to me. I swear, I could feel it in my head, in my heart, what I see. But God's got me, dude. And he's bigger than all my fears. He knows I'm going to love him and I'm going to bring others closer to him. So why can't you, the person listening, why can't you do the same thing I'm doing, maybe on a different level, right? Which is basically all I'm doing. I'll be honest with you guys. I mean, I'm doing a podcast and I'm telling you guys, but I'm basically just loving the Lord every day of my life, bro. Not just on Sunday when I used to, right? So basically, why can't you do the same thing, which is loving the Lord every day of your life, not just on Sunday or when it's convenient for you. When it's convenient for you. You know, it's funny. Sometimes I'll post a podcast. This is just real talk with you guys. Sometimes I'll post a podcast on I was trying to, for a while, for the first 15 episodes, really figure out the days and times I wanted to release it, right? And I was like, all right, so when will people benefit from this most? And then I was like, oh, Sunday, because church on Sunday. And then I was like, I'm not doing Sundays because I'm not against the church, but at all. I go to church and I highly recommend you go to church as well. But I don't want to be like the church. I want to be a little bit different because I want you to realize how important having Jesus and God in your life every single day is. So I'm like, no, we're going to release Tuesday and Friday, guaranteed, and occasionally we'll drop a Sunday episode. I think one day maybe we'll go to Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then after that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Then after that, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And that's what I want to do. That's the big goal and the visions I have, just because I like reaching people, man. I like helping people know about Jesus, man, and learn about him and spreading the good news as much as possible like he calls us to do. And it's not about me or the numbers of the pod or the future opportunities that may come with it. It's just about just really feeling like God is moving, in your life and mine. And you know what? Maybe you do, though. Let's go back a little bit. Maybe you do. Maybe you do love Jesus every day. Maybe you do love the Lord every day, or you at least attempt to. And maybe that's why this podcast is actually doing well numbers-wise, because you are loving the Lord every chance you get. which is a beautiful thing. And I'm so grateful for it because it really keeps me going. It keeps the fuel in my fire. And every time you send me a message saying that you shared it with somebody, man, it just makes my heart light up. And because that's somebody that I don't even know that is like coming to I Like Birds to know about Jesus a little bit, and it may help them get in their Bible, may help them get plugged into a church, or may help them bring up something that we said that they can tell somebody else about that has Jesus wrapped all around it, right? And I just love God, man, because I'll tell you the truth, after everything you just heard, dude, he blessed me before I even knew I was blessed. So why would I ever worry? Why would I ever stress what's going on in the world? Why would I ever stress how I'm going to provide for my family? He's got me and he always has. So now this time, when Texas shuts down again, Florida's shutting down again, and I can't go back to work as soon as I thought I could, hey, it's okay. Because I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm with my family, and most importantly, I'm in my alone time in my studies with God. And dude, I love my studies so much. And this is podcast, man. This is a part of my studies. I tell you guys, I read, write, speak. And guys, if I could do 5 episodes a week for you guys, I seriously would. The numbers are there, but they're just not there yet. Like doing it 5 times a week is a dream though. And doing this on a big level would be amazing because, man, I just see, like, I tried my best, man. This sounds terrible to say out loud, but I'll be honest. I tried my best not to like Stephen Furtick because I knew he was part of a mega church, and I've kind of been against mega churches after I've kind of figured out what a lot of them are doing, and they definitely put capitalism mentality on the church instead of Jesus. So, but man, Stephen Furtick, man, he's been getting real the last few sermons I've watched of his. So if you have a second or an hour to kill, definitely recommend checking out some of his messages that he's been doing since quarantine goes. He has one called Plot Twist. Man, it really shook me. And then the other one is Tired on the Inside. Really shook me as well. And just opened my eyes to, like, man, he's doing some good things. And I would love to be on his level as far, I don't know about that. He's a little too big right now for me. But just not even on that level. But what I'm saying is I don't want to be big like that because that's not what I'm seeking at all. But what I am seeking is the opportunity to share my heart and my thoughts and my love for God on a big level, and I feel like I already am, which is beautiful. I really do. I feel like I already am. I just wanted to keep on growing and, just keep seeing what God is doing in a lot of people's lives, especially strangers' lives. I think that's important to me just because my hands can reach my family, and my friends, my hands, my heart, my text, my calls, my in-person relationships. I can reach those people easier than I can reach strangers, and that's kind of what God wants us to do, is reach all people possible, right? And I pray that God makes that happen. And if it's his will, please, yeah, that'd be awesome. And I understand though, it can't all come at once, right? The numbers all can't come at once. It can't be like, 1,000 episodes, 1,000. Nah, it can't be that way. And I think he wants, honestly, me to have more time in the game, right? I got 4 books left in the New Testament, and then I got to read the Old Testament. So I got a long way to go. And then guess what? I'm going to start over the New Testament after that. And I'm going to school in the fall to pursue it more. And I'm excited about that. God opened that door in more ways than one. Man, it's been incredible. I'd have to share more with you guys out on another episode. But I just think that he wants me to have more time in the game, to sharpen the knife a little better, and get even closer to him with time and knowledge, Because I feel like anybody can do what I'm doing in 3 months, when everything is shut down. It's going to take I think he's going to test me and be like, all right, when the world goes back to normal, you still with me? All right, cool. I'll open up another door for you. You still with me? Cool. Another door. So hence why your boy's going to school in the fall, because your boy's trying to learn as much as possible. Again, an example of God closing one door and opening another one, a huge one in my eyes, which is this school that I'm going to. And I'll leave you with this, right? I'm trying to do my best for you guys. You are all souls I feel called to reach. From friends to strangers, from strangers to family that listens to this, I love you, and I want to help you in any way I can get closer to God and see how special he really is. He changes lives. Clearly, you can see it going on all over the world right now. He's shaking the globe right now, right? And it's for a reason. It's for a reason, man. You're with your family more. You're having dinner. You're slowing down. You're thinking about life. You're probably reading more. Life is better this way. not forever, but life is better this way, and you're going to get some habits from this that you would have never thought you would have. And I know you guys are good people. You guys are doing good things, and I just encourage you guys to keep going, right? Keep going. Keep pursuing the Lord. Keep pursuing the good life and doing well. Priority, man. Prioritize a lot of things in your life. And I feel like I'm just rambling right now, but I'm just speaking from my heart. And he loves you, man. He does. And if you love him, I promise your life will improve dramatically. And man, send this episode to a person who needs this. And remember that love God and fear God, man. It's the same thing. I hope you enjoyed that, man. This is the I Like Birds podcast. Y'all have a great day.